Poison Ivy number 29. So she steps out of Marshview and into Seattle. And she's also very confused. So, she goes into her normal clothing and starts going in disguise, which for some reason everybody's disguise is a hoodie and some sunglasses. But she even points out that her even wearing that is suspicious. So she comes up to these people who are talking about the Green Knight. And if you remember, the Green Knight is supposed to be her. So she goes up to this one guy and is like, oh my gosh, this sounds like amazing. And he brings her to like the leader of them. And she starts talking about, how like they're trying to change the world with the help of the Green Knight and all this other stuff. And so they start running and the police are calling them like domestic terrorists and shit like that. So at that point, Poison Ivy's just like, absolutely not. So she does use her powers to stop them from chasing after them. And everybody's looking at her in surprise. And she's like, you know what? Yeah, it's me. I am your Green Knight, but please fucking stop. And they keep touching her, so she uses her powers to push them away. And she's like, you, take me to the person who leads you guys. And as it turns out, it is an ex of hers. Because why wouldn't it be? And so the girl's like, well, this is awkward, so I'm going to leave you two to it. And she's like, you look good. And she's like, shut up. Like, she's like, please don't piss me off. So she tries to get to an understanding of what it is that they're trying to do, because you're doing all of this stuff in her name. And she's basically like, you can literally help us. You have influence. Like, you have influence over the plants. I have influence over people. Like, we can do this. This is like a revolution. And Poison Ivy is just like, fucking stop. No. Like, what is wrong with you? And she's like, nothing matters to you. You only think of yourself, which is also not true. And she gets like so angry at Bella that she literally like almost kills her. And she's like, you know what? I am a monster. And she like gives her this whole lot of information about how they are always fighting and that the fight doesn't need to be this way. And she was like, can we just compromise? And of course, she's like, no. And she has her plant dogs attack her. And she's like, stop and actually fucking fight me, which Poison Ivy's not going to do. So she runs away and leaves.